Well, I want to welcome everyone and thank you for joining us for the Canine Partners for Life Fall 2020 virtual graduation. It's wonderful to see all of your faces and with that not having our volunteers on campus, we've missed all of you terribly. So thank you for being here with us today. Today, we're celebrating the accomplishments of 2 full service teams, 5 home companion partnerships, and 1 breeder dog. To minimize distractions, we ask that you could please remain muted. Candidates, graduates, please be comfortable in your home and move around if you would like or need to do so. If your dog's alert and you need to lie down, please listen to your dog. Guests, please remember that we are all on camera. Be careful not to get too comfortable.
What?
I would like to start by thanking our CPL Board of Directors, who generously give of their time and talents. This group of volunteers work as a team to oversee operations and strategically plan for the future needs of the organization. Their decisions are guided by our CPL mission and core values. Thank you for your continued support and dedication to our mission. Could our Board of Directors please give us a thumbs up to identify yourselves? Thank you. I'd also like to recognize our volunteers. Without you, we could not fulfill our mission. Thank you to our puppy homes and prison program volunteers who raise a puppy from 8 weeks through 14 months. These volunteers never complain about getting up at 4 a.m. to take their puppy out to do their business in the rain, sleet, or snow. Thank you also to our whelpers, walkers, cuddlers, socialization handlers, breeder homes, weekend dog sitters, and the many other volunteer roles that help us to run CPL smoothly. You give your time, your home, often your carpet and your furniture, and love to a puppy who has a very important job in life. Could our volunteers please give us a thumbs up and identify yourselves? Next, I would like to introduce our staff. We are blessed to have a group of individuals who are passionate about the mission, happy to share their expertise and dedication to meeting the goals of the organization. You are truly ambassadors for the work that is accomplished at CPL. Could our staff members please give yourselves a thumbs up? Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the members of our program team who are dedicated to training the dogs and working with the teams that are graduating today. We have our 2 trainers, Victoria Perangeli and Valerie Skinner, our program manager, Deb Bauer, our graduate support coordinator, Christina Billy, and our harness technician, Jerry Ortega. As you can see, there are hundreds of people who help prepare our dogs for today and their journey ahead. I must recognize our generous supporters. As a nonprofit, we can only fulfill our mission with the financial support of our donors. I also want to recognize our vet sponsors. These veterinarians generously give free veterinary care for our dogs during their first year of training, including vaccines, radiographs, spaying, and neutering of the dogs. Thank you to all of our donors for believing in the mission and choosing to support Canine Partners for Life. Today, you're going to hear us talk about the journey, the 2-year journey our dogs take that starts at just 8 weeks old. You're going to hear about challenges they overcame, funny stories, their quirks and talents, and the many people who train and give them love along the way. You'll hear about the team training journey, an intense 2.5 weeks that started on Zoom, learning about the assistance dog industry, public access rights, healthcare, and training techniques. Then the on-campus training where the partnership bond begins. Service dog skills are practiced and perfected, and trips in public are made together. Finally, we will hear from our graduates about their journey. Today is a celebration of partnerships and the journey ahead as we wish our graduates the best in their future adventures with their partner. The journey begins with our breeder dogs, who play a critical role in the growth and stability of our program, as well as bringing pure joy to the staff and volunteers who love to snuggle and watch in amazement as these tiny puppies learn and grow. Today, we celebrate the graduation of our breeder dog, Mercy, whose first litter was born on August 31st, 2020. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Mercy's journey to become a breeder dog. The breeder is Eyes, Ears, Nose, and Paws. The namer, the State Correctional Institute, Muncie Handlers. Mercy's vet sponsor was Loyal Sock Animal Hospital. Her puppy home was the State Correction Institute at Muncie. And her breeder home, Elena Kors and Dr. Michael Abdul. Mercy means compassion or forgiveness. Pardon me. Mercy means compassion or forgiveness shown toward someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. A fitting name selected by the handlers at SCI Muncie. They also had the pleasure of raising Mercy. One of her puppy handlers described Mercy's journey to us. Mercy arrived at Muncie when she was 11 weeks old, and I had the pleasure of training her until she was almost 2 years old. Watching her grow and learn as I taught her each new task was so much fun. She is super smart and oh so stubborn when she wants to be. Mercy always aimed to please, and she is the best cuddler ever. The day she arrived, there was a birthday party for Moxie, Liddy, and Daisy. There were people and puppies everywhere, and she just sat looking around, taking everything in. I put some Mickey Mouse ears on her and walked her around to meet everyone. And I knew right then she was going to do an amazing job. I would like to tell Mercy that I am so proud of her and I love and miss her very much. Keep up the good work. Congratulations, Mercy, and thank you to her breeder home, which I believe we have a pre-recorded message.
Hi, we are Mercy's breeder home. I'm Elena, this is Michael. We just wanted to say congratulations to all the new partnerships. We wish you the best of luck and happy lives together. And we also just want to say thank you to all the volunteers and staff and people who pull all of these amazing dogs into the program and work with them and make everyone's lives better with their generosity. So thank you very much. We wish you the best of luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Now I would like to introduce our graduate support coordinator, Christina Billy. She will announce the graduating home companion partnerships.
Thank you, Janie, and hi, everyone. I am very proud to introduce our first home companion team, John and Evie. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Evie's journey to become a home companion dog. Breeder, Crazy Tail Labradors. Namer, Becky Bradbeer. Vet sponsor, Waynesburg Animal Hospital. Puppy Home, State Correctional Institute Green. Home Companion Training Home, Keith Noss. Evie's journey began at SCI Green, where her handlers told us Evie is smart, energetic, down to business, very strong, truly good around other people and other dogs, a great listener, and all-around good friend. It truly was an honor and privilege, and one of the best things for me because it kept my focus in me helping raise a puppy to become a blessing for someone else. Another handler told us Evie was one of the most loving labs that I was blessed to be around. I was not one of her primary handlers, but I was a proud uncle and spent a lot of time with her. She was a fast learner and loved to get treats, but because she was cute. One thing I will always remember is when I would open my door and yell, "Evie, come." And no matter where she was or what she was doing, she would stop and run to my cell and go straight to the kennel and pick a toy to bring out. To the graduate, first thing is congratulations for being part of our CPL family. With Evie, whatever you put in, she will give you double. And I pray she brings you just as much joy to your life as she did for us here at SCI Green. From her loving uncle. After leaving SCI Green and spending some time at CPL, Evie's next phase of training was home companion training. Her training home described her as a love bug who can't get enough closeness from her family. Inside, she was either calmly sitting at my feet or snuggling in bed with my daughter. In contrast, whenever there was playtime, she had boundless energy. Her favorite sport was frisbee catch. There is still a rut in my backyard from her active feet. She loved to work and would do anything for a treat. Her nickname was Froggy Dog, derived from her ability to sit splay-legged on the floor like a frog. John, I hope you enjoy Evie as much as I did. And now let's hear from John about his journey.
For me, a big part of life was having a dog. I always believed dogs were not just pets, they were your best friends. Dogs were in my life when I was a kid. When we had a growing family, we always had dogs as part of the family. My disease and weakness have taken a lot of things from me, as far as walking and being independent. So I have faced a lot of physical challenges, but it was the loss of companionship of a dog that is one of the hardest things to accept. I knew it would be difficult to train a puppy and find the right dog considering my condition, but I also knew that having a dog would give me motivation to keep going. When my wife said she found an organization that helps people with companion dogs, I was hopeful that I could be matched with a dog that would be there for me and also a buddy that I could take care of too. When I traveled to the training center with my wife for our first interview, I was able to see the training facility and learn about the program. I was impressed. I met some of the dogs and I was hopeful that I could be matched with a companion dog. Then, about a year later, we got the call to come meet Evie. We went up and trained with Valerie. Evie and I started bonding right away. She loves to play and do things for me. Helps me when I drop things, hangs out with me in the garden. Always there when I'm in the kitchen making my breakfast, wanting to have me come over there and pet her. And I do that to keep her happy. And she likes to have her bone in her mouth, which is kind of like her pacifier. And it makes her happy. She's a real lovable dog. She makes me feel less lonely and isolated. And on days when I can get out, I'm so grateful to Canine Partners for Life and their staff and volunteers for training Evie and matching her with me.
Thank you, John, and congratulations to you and Evie. Next, I would like to introduce Katherine and Brooke. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Brooke's journey to become a home companion dog. Breeder, Canine Partners for Life. Namer, Judy Bell. Vet sponsor, Waynesburg Animal Hospital. Puppy Home, State Correctional Institute, Green. Home Companion Training Home, Anne Marie Wheatcraft. Brooke's journey began at SCI Green, where her primary handler told us, Brooke was the greatest. When she was a puppy, she was very silly. She has a gift of being able to make people laugh. She is a wonderful companion. When she wasn't playing or being silly, she was a hard worker. She enjoyed learning and always found time to be pet. She is also very loving. She's never missed an opportunity to curl up beside me on or in my lap. I took Brooke everywhere with me. I used to take her to my visit when my wife and kids would come. My daughter, who was 12 years old at the time, who has Down syndrome, was excited to meet Brooke. She sat on the floor Indian style and was calling her to come see her. Brooke immediately crawled up onto her lap, curled in a ball, and went to sleep. My daughter was elated. They developed a very special bond. Brooke spent the rest of our visits on her lap cuddling. My daughter loved Brooke very much and still asks about her all the time. It was bittersweet to see Brooke move on. I loved her very much, and she will always hold a special place in my heart. I know she will be helpful and bring you as much joy as she brought me. I am very proud of Brooke. She worked very hard while she was here. I know she will love you, make you laugh when you are down, and comfort you when you are sad. Please give her lots of hugs and kisses from me. After leaving SCI Green and spending some time at CPL, Brooke's next phase of training was home companion training. Her training home described her as one of the most loving puppies I've met during my years working with CPL puppies, as demonstrated by her inability to curb her propensity to lick everyone. She loves all kinds of scratches, but especially belly rubs. She is very eager to please and learns quickly. She was just so much fun for us and our puppy Gretchen. They had a wonderful time together and snuggled often. She was always a dream on our neighborhood walks, never pulling or misbehaving. Once she was a kennel dog and not allowed to be pet, but before she changed to the home companion track, she was at work with me. She was very good with her commands and would sit quietly, but seemed truly confused about why no one was saying hi to her. She looked at me expectantly, saying, "Can I say hi to this person? I know they see me. I can tell they really need a kiss." Brooke's recipient will adore her and will be blessed to have such a wonderful companion in their lives. She is just a wonderful pup. Congratulations on your graduation. And now we'll hear from Katherine about her journey.
Hello? Christine, can you
Katherine.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I was having trouble. I'm sorry. I got to hear what you said, and I'm sitting here crying because I had a very hard time before I had Brooke. My husband was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, and from diagnosis and treatment, and 5 months later, he passed away. But I did have my Griffin, and a year and a half later, Griffin passed away, and I just felt devastated and alone. And then I was in church one day, and there was a volunteer who had a service dog, and I asked them, what happens if the dog can't be a service dog? And they said, well, there's companion dogs. And that started my journey, and I was so hopeful, and I waited so long, and the day that I heard, I cried and cried, and she's just, I don't know, she's been a blessing to me, a blessing. She is everything you said. She's so silly. She always is kissing me. Belly rubs makes her just fall asleep, and she is just my constant companion, and I don't feel as lonely anymore at all because I have her with me, and she's just been a joy to me and a blessing to me. And as I said in my quote, every day I thank Canine Partners for Life, and I'm so grateful to them. And every day of my life, I look at this beautiful little dog, and I feel blessed and happy, and the loneliness is gone. So thank you. Thank you for this wonderful organization and for letting me be Brooke's mommy.
Thank you so much, Katherine. We are so happy for you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Makena and Maddie. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Maddie's journey to become a home companion dog. Breeder, Canine Partners for Life. Namer, Vince Freeland. Vet sponsor, French Creek Animal Hospital. Puppy Home, Cindy Chamberlain and Buck Bullen. Maddie's journey began in a community puppy home who told us, Maddie was a fearless, outgoing puppy who was raised with many other labs and a poodle at times. She loved to swim and always started her day with a game of soccer. No eating breakfast for her before she played a quick game. Maddie was raised with us from 8 weeks of age, and we had the pleasure of being part of Bryn Mawr Rehab Hospital Pet Therapy Program. She would spend time visiting patients and also time in the horticulture room, interacting with patients and the occupational therapist. Much of this time, she was retrieving balls that the patients would throw as part of their rehab. She also took a trip with us to Nashville, Tennessee, for the Dysautonomia International Conference. She really enjoyed that trip. She was a very friendly and cuddly dog who loves to keep busy entertaining you. Makena, I am so glad that Maddie and you found each other. From the pictures, you two have bonded so well, and I am thrilled to know that she has made your life so happy and fulfilled. It makes my heart proud to know that she can fulfill her purpose and that your days are filled with joy. And that is why I am a puppy raiser. And now let's hear from Makena about her journey.
Hi everyone, my name is Makena and this is Maddie. She's kind of tired right now. So my journey with CPL began back in 2014. I received my first home companion dog the summer of 2014. I received Carpenter, and we had Carpenter for about 4 years. But last year we had to make the very tough decision to put him down because he got really, really sick. And I was in the middle of my senior year of high school. And then we went back to CPL for a successor home companion dog placement interview in March of last year. And in December of 2019, I received the phone call from CPL that they had found a match, which was Maddie. Maddie got placed with me 2 days before my 19th birthday this past January. So she's been with my family and I for 10 months now. And Maddie is just amazing. She's an absolute blessing, not only to me, but to my entire family. She brings so much joy to us. Between the Carpenter's death and being placed with Maddie, I moved on to college, and I struggled a lot with my anxiety and my depression, and Maddie just absolutely makes the hardest days so much easier. She makes me laugh, she makes me smile, and just, she definitely loves to play soccer. Soccer is one of her favorite things to do. We always go to the park, and she could run and run for hours chasing soccer balls. Yeah. And she also loves the beach. She got to go to the beach during the off season, a dog beach park. That was interesting because she wanted to go after all the other dogs. But she also did enjoy the water. There are a lot of people that Maddie and I want to thank, but first off, we want to thank everybody at CPL. You guys are absolutely amazing. Everything that you do just to create such loving, amazing, caring dogs, and all the training that you guys put in day in and day out for every individual that receives a service dog or home companion dog is incredible. I can't thank you guys enough. We also want to thank Cindy and Buck, who were Maddie's puppy raiser. I actually got the opportunity to meet Cindy and Buck a few weeks ago. So they are actually still involved in Maddie and I's partnership. Thank you guys so much for creating a loving dog and just raising her. I also want to thank both of my parents because they have been along this journey with me for 6 years now. So they both experienced my partnership with Carpenter, and they're now getting to see the partnership that Maddie and I are creating. And Maddie also is a big daddy's girl. She really likes my dad. They also have a kind of a bond that they've created. She also loves belly rubs. That's one of her favorite things. What else does she like? She also likes to protect her family. She knows when to bark at something that comes across our big screen TV. She's very protective of me and of the entire family. She just lets you know that those dogs aren't coming into her house. She even barks at this presentation of all the other dogs, which is pretty funny. But yeah, Maddie's been an absolute blessing these last 10 months, and I'm so thankful for everyone that's been a part of this journey, and all of your help and training and everything. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Makena. Congratulations again. Next, I'd like to introduce Patti and Greta. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Greta's journey to become a home companion dog. Breeder, ADI North American Breeding Cooperative. Namer, Maggie and Walter Farley. Vet sponsor, Waynesburg Animal Hospital. Puppy Home, State Correctional Institute Green. Home Companion Training Homes, John Gosney and Linda Wood. Greta's journey began at SCI Green, where her primary handlers told us, Greta was the James Dean of the dog world. She was definitely my rebel. If there was a rule to break, she broke it. I used to keep her wipe down rags on the floor, and she'd peek at you, sneak up to the rags, snatch one, then run away as if you weren't even there. However, once you told her to bring it, she would. It was just a game for her. I used to take her to work with me in the medical department, where she was a total hit. She used to show off her training skills, and to whom Greta is going to, Greta may have been a little rebel when she was a pup, but one thing she definitely was smart and loyal. If you treat Greta with respect and give her love, you will have a friend for life. I want to say to Greta, I told you, little buddy, you would make it. Enjoy your life and have fun with your new partner. I will always remember you. You were one of my best. After leaving SCI Green and spending some time at CPL, Greta's next phase of training was home companion training. Her training home said, Greta's personality was wonderful. We should know, she lived with us in our house for over 6 months. She was very friendly, obedient, and fun to have with us. She liked walking in our neighborhood, and she especially enjoyed the many visits to John's part-time workplace where she interacted with special needs adults. She enjoyed being pet and verbally praised, but what she liked best was answering the commands visit and lap. What I remember best about Greta is that at Bayside Community Network, John's workplace, she adopted Daryl. Daryl, a client, was fearful of most things, including all animals. Anyway, with John at his side, Daryl would walk Greta past admiring staff on his way for a visit to our director. Quite an accomplishment for Daryl, and many thanks to Greta. Grace and John wish this team all of the best, and may their companionship be long-lasting. And now let's hear from Patti about her journey.
There we go. Hi.
There we got on.
We're not on.
Oh, we heard you, Patti.
Okay. My name is Patti Scarola, and Greta is my home companion dog, the best dog ever. I waited for her arrival from Canine Partners for Life for a long time, and it was swell, so worth the wait. Since Greta came into my life, it has changed dramatically. I have become so much more active, and instead of being in bed all day like I used to, I spend my days, I have purpose, and I get up every morning, and that purpose is Greta. On the day I don't feel well and can't do much, Greta stays by my side and she senses my needs and she cuddles me and comforts me. Due to the important training that was given to Greta and me through Canine Partners for Life, I feel assured that when I walk her and take her, or she will respond to the commands that we have learned, and it makes it so easy to handle her. Someone is always available at Canine Partners for Life to answer any questions or challenges that may arise. My wonderful husband, Dominic, helps me take care of Greta. She's jumping up behind me, and has been very important as part of her life by playing actively with Greta and giving her the fun and exercise she needs. Greta has brought so much love into our house that Dom and I can't even imagine our lives without her. Thank you. We are so ever grateful. She is the best dog, sweet, warm, sleeps with me at night, always there, ready for a treat, and listens to commands. They play in the yard, they run around. She loves the kiddie pool. Even though we live by the beach, we went there once and she ran out of the water. I'm not sure why, but she loves playing and running in the yard and chasing a ball. And she's really the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm so much more active, and I'm so thankful to all of you who helped her become who she is. Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations again to you and Greta.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I would like to introduce our last home companion team, Richard and Otis. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Otis's journey to become a home companion dog. Breeder, ADI North American Breeding Cooperative. Namer, Jan and Bruce Moore. Vet sponsor, Richland Veterinary Hospital. Puppy home, Sharon Webb. Otis's journey began in a community puppy home who told us Otis is loving, calming, attentive, and loyal. I always described him as an old soul. Otis and I were out and about in the community doing some training when he was a young puppy. He was being his rock star self while practicing his skills, and a woman stopped to ask me a question about him. After we finished up our conversation that included his puppy training and CPL's mission, I asked her if she would like to pet him. Of course, Otis welcomed the love while maintaining his sit position. I remember being so proud of him for this. Right before we were parting ways, she thanked me and shared that she had a very tough day and that Otis made her smile, and it was just what she needed. I will also never forget that warm feeling I had in my heart when I realized he was already making a difference at such a young age. Otis, my man, I am so happy for you and Richard. You are both so lucky to have each other, and my family and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Otis, I know without a doubt you are making a difference and getting so much love and attention from Richard and the rest of your family. It was a pleasure raising and loving you. You will always have a piece of all of the Webb's hearts. And now we will hear from Richard about his journey.
My name is Rich Jacopelli. I received Otis about 3 months ago now. He is the best dog and companion I could ever have hoped for. I wasn't sure what this process would yield 2 years ago when we traveled to Cockenville for our first interview. After spending the day meeting the dogs and the trainers, we were so excited to become part of the program. The following day, we received a phone call saying that we were accepted, and the anticipation began. 18 months later, I received a phone call saying that the dog had been selected for me. A few weeks later, we drove back to meet Otis. We were greeted by Val and the sweetest, most lovable pup named Otis. Otis and the CPL team have been more amazing than I could ever have imagined. The first time I directed him to my lap, he jumped up and gave me so many kisses you would have thought we had just been reunited after years apart. I'm married to my wife Christine, and we have 2 children, Ryan who is 11 and Owen who is 7. He has instantly become part of our family. He is adored by everyone. He hangs with me while everyone is out, and besides the companionship, he gives me a sense of security, knowing that if I drop my cane or something else, he is there to help get it for me. I treasure our long walks and runs with my scooter. We go out for about an hour a day, and no matter how far or fast we go, I can never tire him out. I wanted to thank the CPL team from the bottom of my heart. Without your hard work and dedication, none of this would be possible. You've added such love and happiness to our family. Thank you very much. My name is Rich Jack.
Congratulations, Richard and Otis. And now I would like to introduce trainer Valerie Skinner to announce the graduating full service teams.
Thank you, Christina. I would like to introduce the full service teams. Our first team will be Gloria and CJ, and the following individuals and organizations have contributed to CJ's journey to become a full service dog. Breeder, Canine Partners for Life, Namer, Kramer Eye Center, and Puppy Home State Correctional Institution at Huntington. CJ's journey began at SCI Huntington, and where one of the staff told us, as a staff handler at SCI Huntington, my family and I had the pleasure of getting to know CJ during his stay here at prison. I can remember the first time I took CJ home. I walked into the house with this adorable, sweet little puppy, and my family instantly fell in love. CJ was one of the happiest, sweetest, and most loving puppies that has ever come through the program. He brought joy to everyone who met him and was friendly with everyone. He was so bright and inquisitive. As a result, he did great with his training. One of the activities I enjoyed the most is to take the puppies to local schools for lessons with visits with students. The school counselors developed a lesson for the students that will make connections between certain topics and service animals, or something like unconditional love of an animal. CJ was always a huge hit with the children. They absolutely adored him and remembered his name and would call out to him when he passed in the hall. CJ had great patience with the children. He never tired of the many hands petting him or many arms hugging him. What a difference those visits made to so many children. So even as a very young puppy, CJ touched many hearts and many lives and brought smiles to many faces. Congratulations on your graduation with CJ. I wish you both all the best and many happy years together. You're in very good paws with CJ by your side. Give him a hug from all of us at his friends at SCI Huntington. Well, we could tell that CJ and Gloria were dedicated to each other from the very beginning of team training. CJ's tail was unstoppable with his wagging as he did skills for Gloria. We saw Gloria's confidence grow as she was able to walk longer distances than walk the entire day at Longwood Gardens and on the zoo trip. And when CJ wasn't so sure about their new SUV, Gloria practiced over and over to get him comfortable. We even had Gloria feed CJ his breakfast and his dinner in the back of the SUV, so he associated it with the best place in the world to be, and he quickly learned to get in and out. CJ fed off Gloria's confidence and did not give up. She did not give up on him. Gloria feels safe enough doing stairs now with CJ's help so much that she doesn't even need to hold on to the railing. She holds on to the harness. Gloria's always found ways to keep CJ's attention on her, whether we were at the zoo with the peacocks, foxes, and the screaming monkeys. We actually did skills in front of the screaming monkeys and they did great. Or in the training barn when we had an uninvited mouse that did its best to distract all of the dogs. Gloria told us that she is hoping CJ will keep her out of a wheelchair and help with laundry once they return home. And now let's hear from Gloria about her journey.
Okay, well, my journey is continuing, and I just really want to say I thank the entire staff at CPL, especially the trainers. And CJ and I are doing wonderful together. He hasn't done laundry for me yet, but that's my fault because I haven't done it yet. I'm still recovering from team training. But CJ really has given me a lot of confidence. I'm ready to go shopping, go to doctor's visits, and take rides, run errands, just like we've been doing for a week now. So CJ doesn't seem to be bothered by anything we do. We went to a Veterans Day celebration ceremony, and my first service dog, Wally, was terrified when they shot the guns off. CJ picked up his head, looked around to see where the noise was coming from, and went back to bed. He went right back to sleep. So that is a very big difference. I really appreciated that. And CJ walks so calmly with me. And I've slowed down over the years, and he seems to appreciate that, because the longer I go, the slower I get. And he stays right with me. He's perfect. I shouldn't say that P word, but I am going to, because he is perfect. So CJ and Eiler, you know, they get along famously. We were the first husband and wife team at CPL, and we hope to continue to be a husband and wife team with 2 service dogs. But a lot of things have changed since my first service dog, Wally. I no longer work, so now I have to find things for us to do. But we both like to travel, and it's a little difficult with this COVID stuff going on. So we're gonna stay at home and practice together until we're able to go out and about and do what we can to explore this great country of ours. And his best command, along with Eiler, they both share the same command, is at feeding time. The sit, wait, look at me, and all done. They've got that perfected. I don't even have to say it anymore, and they just sit there and they do exactly what is expected of them, and they get along so well together, which I really appreciate. And I am just looking forward to all the really cool things that CJ and I can go out and do together.
Well, congratulations, Gloria and CJ.
Thank you.
Our next full service team is Martha and Carbon. The following individuals and organizations have contributed to Carbon's journey to become a full service dog. Breeder is Canine Partners for Life. And namer is Barbara Phelan and Carol Reed. The vet sponsor is the Metzger Animal Hospital, and Puppy Home State Correctional Institution at Smithfield, and Jan and Bruce Moore. When Carbon was a puppy, a typical day at SCI Smithfield consisted of obedience, skills, training, and spending some time in the playpen, going to the visitor's room, the church, the infirmary, the main yard, and the chow hall. Walks around the prison, the gym, and going to work with different handlers, Carbon was always consistent in his skills. And as a young puppy, he was described as laid back, who didn't care about cats and was happy to go in his crate and didn't mind getting his nails cut. From the very beginning, we could tell Martha and Carbon were a very good team. The first couple of days of team training, Carbon would be on his back with 4 paws in the air for a belly rub. And Carbon alerted Martha the very first day to prevent Martha from fainting. And Martha picked up on his alert and listened to him. And during the team training trips, Martha walked more than she had in a very long time with Carbon by her side. Carbon was truly tested when we visited Giggy Bites, and they were baking cakes, dog cakes, and the smells were irresistible. But he successfully paid for his Giggy Bites treats despite the distracting smells. Martha has taken to saying Carbon is an environmentalist because he prefers to carry the canvas bag or cloth bag instead of a plastic one. And he has earned the affectionate nickname of the old man due to his calm, methodical way of doing his skills and responding to cues. Martha is hoping Carbon will keep her out of the ER and hospital, and she also wants to teach him to unload the dishwasher once they are home together. And now let's hear from Martha.
Well, My journey started, I guess, when I got ill about 30 years ago and was told I was going to die in 5 years. I was very lucky that medical science came up with new medicines every time my heart started to fail. But I got to the point that I got so ill that I had to retire because of my disability early. And I was pretty sick for a while, but then they found a new machine and they put it attached it to my heart, and that made a world of difference. The only thing that kept bothering me was fainting. And I don't know how many bones I've broken. And then I had a stroke, and after I had the stroke, if I fainted and hit my head, I had to be hospitalized because that was the protocol because I had the blood thinners. And that was really disconcerting. I heard about cardiac alert dogs from my cardiologist, who'd been my cardiologist in Connecticut. And I researched and I found CPL. I picked CPL because it looked like it had the most consistent training and support for the partnership. And I think that's true. I got my first match about 3 years ago. And unfortunately, the dog got sick before the training. And I was on a trip with a very good friend, and I got a call from CPL saying that this dog could not be a service dog because of the illness. And I just burst into tears. It felt like such a loss. I'd met the dog, I'd gone to CPL and watched a training session. I just felt my world collapsing around me because I thought the dog would make all the difference in my life. And then this year, 2 years later, I got a call saying they found Carbon for me. And it was wonderful. And he's a great match. The training was rigorous. It was exhausting. I have not recovered. I like the positive reinforcement. I even got the trainers to do positive reinforcement with me by giving me peanut M&Ms when I did something right. So that was good. Carbon and I are still bonding. He's right by my side with his legs up in the air waiting for his belly rub. He has continued to alert me. As a matter of fact, he alerted me twice today. So we're kind of having a calm day and not being very active today. He's gone and met his vet, and everybody thought he was so handsome, and of course he was perfectly well behaved. And then he went and met my cardiologist, and he was the hit of the cardiology office, and then he went and did GoPay to get my appointment cards and things like that. He's getting used to being in my house. We're starting to get into a routine, which I think will make our partnership stronger and stronger. And one of the main things is that I feel safe where I didn't feel safe before. But now that he can alert me before I faint, it's just a whole feeling of security and safeness that I didn't have before. And I really appreciate CPL, all the staff, the volunteers, the work they put into this so that I can have this sense of security that I haven't had for a long, long time. And I'd just like to say thank you.
Well, congratulations, Martha and Carbon. And now we will hear from CPL board member Mary Bryant.
So I think we might have lost connection with Mary. I'm not sure, but my name's Susan and I'm the Chief Operating Officer with Canine Partners. So if she certainly comes back on, we're going to welcome her back in to share congratulations from the Board of Directors. But I'd like to thank all of you certainly for being here with us today to celebrate these talented teams. Through their dedication, you can see that they've all developed strong bonds with their canine partners, and it's certainly evident in the comments that they shared that these bonds will last a lifetime. To our teams, from all of us at Canine Partners, staff, volunteers, donors, we wish you well as you go forward in your lives with your loving canine partner by your side. These dogs are happy to provide for your needs, both physically and emotionally. They simply want to please you and make you happy. As you leave here today, be confident that you can achieve new goals. And with your canine partner, you're strong individuals, but even stronger with them by your side. CPL is here to assist you to maximize your partnership as you look to advance your skills, enjoy each day, and move forward in your life. There is a poem that I'm going to read that I think has been read at every single graduation since the beginning of Canine Partners and where we celebrated these partnerships, and it's entitled "He's Just My Dog" by Jean Hill. He is my other eyes that can see above the clouds, my other ears that hear above the winds. He is the part of me that can reach out into the sea. He has told me 1,000 times over that I am his reason for being, by the way he rests against my leg, by the way he thumps his tail at my smallest smile, by the way he shows his hurt when I leave without taking him. I think it makes him sick with worry when he's not along to care for me. When I am wrong, he is dedicated and delighted to forgive. When I am angry, he clowns to make me smile. When I am happy, he is joy unbounded. When I'm a fool, he ignores it. And when I succeed, he brags. Without him, I am only another man. With him, I am all powerful. He is loyalty itself. He has taught me the meaning of devotion. With him, I know a secret comfort and a private peace. He has brought me understanding where before I was ignorant. His head on my knee can heal my human hurts. His presence by my side is protection against my fears of dark and unknown things. He has promised to wait for me whenever, wherever, I need him. And I expect I will, as always I have.
Susan, I believe that Mary is here with us now.
Okay.
Mary, would you like to speak? And then Susan will close the ceremony.
Certainly.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You can. Great. Sorry, everyone. My internet has been really unstable, and it decided to stop right at the inopportune time. And so I've called in on my phone. So I'm back. So thank you so much for allowing me some time. My journey towards CPL is actually a long and convoluted one. It's one spanning back to the late 90s when I was a young practicing veterinarian in Delaware. The hospital where I work sponsored a puppy home, and when that dog graduated, the hospital was asked to attend graduation. The two women who owned the practice had no interest in this sort of thing, and it was the kind of thing you'd pawn off on the young associate, so off I went. Graduation back then was in the training barn. I arrived, I sat in the back. Let me mute that, sorry. I sat in the back, and what my bosses didn't tell me, or more likely just didn't bother reading the entire invitation, was that at the appropriate time, I was to walk up to the front of the room and accept a plaque from CPL. Now, I knew very little about CPL, let alone ever have been to a graduation before, and I didn't know the two crucial things about the CPL graduation. Number one, bring tissues. Number two, wear waterproof mascara. I did neither. So let's just say I'm an ugly crier, and imagine my horror when I was being called to the front of the room to accept a beautiful plaque with a photo of the young man recipient and his beautiful black lab. No tissues, no waterproof mascara. Thank goodness no one's attention was on me, but at the time, I felt like everyone was staring at me and saying to themselves, "Get a grip, girl." Fast forward to a few years later, when CPL unexpectedly cropped up in my life again. This time, I worked as a technical vet in sales and marketing for a veterinary pharmaceutical company based in Atlanta, Georgia. but I was in the field, so I lived in Chester County, where I still do. At this time, the company was owned by Sanofi, like the billion-dollar international human drug company Sanofi. So I get a call one day from the U.S. head of marketing in Georgia asking me if I knew of an organization called Canine Partners for Life. Yes, ironically, I did know it. He was asked by someone very high up in Sanofi to see how we could somehow support CPL. So some bigwig at Sanofi thought CPL was worthy of corporate dollars or product. I never got to the bottom of who that was, but my guess is that somehow, some way, CPL touched the life of someone who felt moved to do something and had the power to do it. That led to many meetings with the leadership of CPL and the culmination of donating pharmaceutical products to CPL, a program that's still in existence today. After all these interactions over the years, I was asked to be on the board of CPL, and when the timing was right for me, I took them up on their offer, and I'm now just finishing my 6th year on the board. I share this with all of you because I've seen CPL from many vantage points, as a practicing vet, as a corporate sponsor, and in the past years as a board member. But there was one more vantage point I was about to experience with CPL. Last fall, me and several of my fellow board members received training so we could handle the dogs. When I was asked to take a dog home for the holiday break, I leapt at the opportunity and brought CJ home for 2 weeks. I don't have time to enumerate the adventures he and I had, taking the train into the city so he could come to work with me at Penn Vet. By the way, a vet school is the perfect place to take a service dog in training. And then into Center City to help my nephew with a senior capstone project for college that unexpectedly led us walking all over Old City and finally into the oldest library in Philadelphia. I took CJ back to the kennel on January 2nd and did not expect I'd really get a chance to see him again. Fast forward to March 13th, 2020. CPL called. They were closing their kennel due to the pandemic. Would I take CJ for 2 weeks? Well, 2 weeks turned into about 12, I think, but this led me to look into yet another window of CPL, a much more intimate view than I had seen before. I saw firsthand the incredible dedication of the kennel staff and the trainers. Val kept close tabs on me and CJ, who was one of the many dogs that she and Victoria were training. We began to FaceTime so she could help me practice some skills with him. Towards the end of the stay at home, I would take him back to CPL once a week so she could train him face-to-face or mask to muzzle. She and Victoria were doing this with several dogs. With all the pandemic through at CPL and at those trainers, they continued to train the dogs so they would be ready. Now, I am an eternal optimist, sometimes to a fault. In a former job, my boss's boss called me a Pollyanna purebred. It was not a compliment. I always have hope. In the past few months, however, in particular, it's been really difficult for many of us to maintain hope. And when I'm feeling like that, I think about Val and Victoria and the leaders and volunteers and administration of CPL. For me, they have embodied the very notion of hope. They never gave up. They never said, what should we do? They said, what will we do for our recipients and what will we do for our dogs? During the pandemic, I experienced CPL from a much more personal one than that of a board member. I got to peek under the hood, so to speak. And what I witnessed was genuine dedication, ingenuity, creativity, bravery, and hope. I am so impressed with the fortitude of the trainers, volunteers, administration, and of course, the recipients and your families. The courage you have shown and the bravery, and I do not use that term lightly, to continue your journey during a global pandemic and train in less than ideal circumstances with your new dogs is inspiring and hopeful. So that's my long-winded way of saying thank you to everyone at CPL. You are all so valuable and special. And thank you especially to the recipients. Thank you for your courage, and thank you for giving us all hope.
Thank you, Mary. I'm so glad that you were able to join us again and share these wonderful, wonderful words with us. I think that that really gives everyone a different perspective. But it has been a challenging year, but we have been truly blessed to have the support of our community, our recipients, our volunteers, our donors, and everyone to get us to this point, again, that we can celebrate this fall graduation ceremony. So this actually concludes our ceremony, but we want to thank everybody for certainly joining us here today.